Warning. The following podcast is utter nonsense and may cause agoraphobia, kleptomania, insomnia, and oppositional defiance disorder. We are required by law to provide you with this disclaimer for hazardous materials.
Welcome back to Hazardous Materials, where the food's the star. I'm Gideon Gonzalez, and joining me as always is
Casey Johnson.
And welcome to round 2 of the All-Wizard Team Tournament. Not really much of a tournament, but we're creating super teams. We're having them clash. We're asking your opinions. I work really hard on these little graphics. It's going to be a good time. So in case you didn't see our prior episode on this, where Casey created a team of Marvel heroes, and I created a team of villains to counter them. This all stems from Wizard Magazine number 79, in which they had their readers draft them the ultimate superhero team using the categories of leader, power, tech, mental, defense, stealth, and magic. So as last round, we did Marvel heroes for Casey and villains for me. We will now be doing DC heroes for me and a corresponding Legion of Doom to counter them from Casey.
I'm looking forward to being on the bad side this time.
Don't forget, we the bad guys. So without further ado, I thought I was going to say, I thought long and hard on this, but I didn't. Like, this is just my dream Justice League team, but with a few more rigid requirements. So for team leader, I'm picking who I consider one of the most underrated characters in DC Comics. One of my favorite superheroes, Black Lightning.
Okay.
He's got tenure. He has experience in managing young people. Like, dude is a high school principal, so he knows a thing or two about corralling wild personalities.
And wasn't he the step-up leader after Batman bailed on the Outsiders?
Correct. He has the experience. And, like, again, seniority. He's DC's first black superhero. Like,
and he was cool.
Yeah. I love those original 11 issues. The 90s run Tony Isabella came back and did was super sick. Almost felt like a milestone book. Black Lightning Year 1 by Jen Van Meter and Cully Hamner. Awesome
When
book.
I was a kid, I was a big fan of Black Lightning when he had that blue and black jacket.
Yeah, that was...
And the blue pants with the tiny little Buccaneer boots.
And he had the afro wig.
With a white mask jammed in it.
Yeah. But yeah, Black Lightning, I love him. He's great. DC, I applaud them whenever they push him into a place of prominence, and I think he should be the leader of my Justice League team.
And he transformed into Black Vulcan on the Super Friends.
Yes, because do you know why he's Black Vulcan?
Because they couldn't get the rights.
So Tony Isabella had drafted for the time, a pretty good contract of not ownership of the character, but he would make money and the character made any other appearances.
Right.
So DC just said, screw you. We're going to make Black Vulcan or Volt on Justice League. Or
Super Volt.
Yeah. So basically every time, or Soul Power on Static Shock, because that was originally scripted to be a Black Lightning episode. Yeah, anytime they could go out of their way to screw over Tony Isabella on that, they did. So I was very glad when they finally buried the hatchet and got the Black Lightning show made. So very cool. For my raw power, this one's going to come as no surprise to you. But I'm talking Metamorpho. The Element Man, personal hero of mine. I should have worn my Metamorpho shirt.
Yes, you should have.
I'm, of course, talking... Rex Mason, the adventurer who found the Orb of Ra that gave him the ability to turn into any substance known to man.
So obscure.
Sure, turns into cobalt, iron, or tin. Strong as iron, homely as sin.
Oh my god. Didn't this guy used to be part of the Doom Patrol?
No, he was never Doom Patrol. He
belongs there.
He's got that weirdness. He is a Bob Haney, Ramona Fradon creation. A delightfully bizarre, like 18-issue run in the Silver Age.
Mm-hmm.
Palled around with the Justice League, popped up in Brave and the Bold in his initial appearances. So team
and yet another...
An outsider.
Exactly.
Yes.
You got an outsider team going on here.
Well,
you going to pull Halo out of your butt now?
Don't get too married to the outsider team. That's all I'm saying. But Metamorpho has such a great power. So I was thinking about this the other day. He's like the entire FF rolled up in one. He can stretch by turning himself into rubber, can turn himself on fire, just turn into fire. He can turn himself into any kind of rock he wants to. And he can turn to gas and visibly slip away.
He's the UFOs.
Yeah, he's the Element Man. And he's got a bitchin' theme song.
That you just made up.
No, it's real. We're going to play a little sample of it right here.
Metamorpho, 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 metamorpho. This is the story of the Element Man. Metamorpho, metamorpho. Starts out in old Egypt land. Metamorpho.
That's madness.
Metamorpho, metamorpho. From the DC, they had a record come out, those songs of the superheroes.
I did not know this.
So there's a Plastic Man track, an
And
Aquaman
I'm
track.
Angry I didn't know
It's
it.
amazing. You can find the whole thing on YouTube.
I might have to kill you
I think
for
it's called
doing that.
Superhero Songs and Stories. The Metamorpho song's on Spotify.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy
The
crap.
only one of those that made it to Spotify.
That's like the deepest deep cut you could have possibly dropped on me.
As the #1 Metamorpho fan.
Oh my God.
So,
All right. Continue on with this cavalcade of nuttiness.
so tech heroes. You got a lot to choose from in the DC universe.
Okay.
And this is
Yeah.
actually my second choice because I thought about it. So my first choice was Steel, John Henry Irons.
Okay.
Superman's friend who builds him tech stuff and has a cool...
But he's not your final choice.
No, my final choice is Natasha Irons, his niece,
Oh.
who became Steel after him. And she's got that sick, like, this chain dreads she's got.
I
on her
remember
helmet.
that. Yes. The chain dreads.
Really like the character. He was a badass in the Superwoman book that Phil Jimenez did.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really cool there. And of course, in the Man of Steel stuff that Mark Schultz did in the early 2000s, that's like my era of Superman, is that triangle, the later Triangle era, where it was like Joe Kelly, Ned McGuinness. Oh my God, what's his name?
Ed McGuinness was such a good Superman.
Oh
artist.
yeah, you got Jeff Loeb, Doug Monk, just Mark Schultz on Man of Steel. Killer lineup.
I like when Ed McGuinness was on Superman Batman.
Yeah, that was good stuff. I like his big Superman.
I like the way he actually did Power Girl.
But yeah, fun one there.
Mhm.
And but yeah, Natasha Irons, she is a tech genius, got a killer look, black lesbian, great woman, great
Okay.
character, very cool. I think she adds a lot to the team. She's helped out Jimmy Olsen a lot, and she also has a relationship with a character who's coming later in my list.
So what's next? The Mentalist?
Yes, there's an obvious choice here. I did not go with the obvious choice.
You didn't do Saturn Girl?
The obvious choice is Martian Manhunter, who, by the way, some have called me the Martian Manhunter.
Okay.
No. I went with Despero,
Whoa.
but specifically when
Despero?
when he was possessed by the robot Elron from JLI.
Is this muscular Despero?
Yes, this is big buff Despero,
who might eat you?
perpendicular to his eyes fin.
Yeah.
Who's got cool pants and a big gun, and he's got the mind of a little protocol droid, basically. He's like C-3PO's brain in there.
Oh my God.
So Elron was the robot attache to the Conqueror Manga Khan, who repeatedly tried to take over the Earth in the JLI days.
Mm-hmm.
And Elron, after the defeat of his master, stuck around as Max Lord's comedic foil in the JLI, as a little robot just helping out with administrative work.
Back when Max Lord was comedic value.
And in the final arc of Giffen and DeMatteis's JLI, you have Despero is just beating the snot out of him, just like, brah, he's killed
remember
Mr.
that.
Miracle. He's just wrecking stuff. And the only way they're able to defeat him is by swapping his brain with Elron. And so there's a great scene where Despero wakes up in Elron's body on like a farm because he's been knocked way the hell out.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like struggling to get back up. And you just see, bam, and a farmer shot the little robot head off with a shotgun.
Whoops. So there goes our boy Despero.
Yeah, but then you had big beefy Despero as part of the Justice League for a hot minute.
Well, I'm
Still
confused
counts.
though.
Mhm.
Okay, so Despero is a hero?
This version of Despero, because it's Elron, but in
Okay.
Despero's body.
Okay.
So you've got this like administratively minded little robot, like C-3PO basically, with the body of a incredibly powerful psychic alien who also has guns the size of his torso.
Remember that? Remember the old Despero was this goofy, skinny dude with the
His little orange shirt and his horizontal fin.
Yes, the peacemaker shape.
Playing chess as the Justice League members slowly disappear.
Oh, I remember that.
Justice League #1 cover.
That was old school.
Yeah. So, a fun out of left field choice, I thought, for Mentalist.
Just a bit.
My defensive character should come as no surprise. He's my absolute favorite DC hero. Possibly, if I wasn't such a Spider-Man guy, he'd be my #1 comic book character, period. I'm, of course, referring to the greatest Green Lantern, Kyle Rayner. Because when it comes to defense, you can't do better than a lantern. Someone who can literally just make a wall the size of, like, an arena and just push everyone out.
I think that Kyle Rayner is definitely a product of your generation.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and just as much as Hal is for me.
He can make he can make pirate ships, fully manned pirate ships.
Well, he's an artist.
Yeah. He can make cool cars that he'd like fly around in space in.
I always did enjoy the fact that each one of the Earth Lanterns did things differently because of their backgrounds.
Yeah.
You had John Stewart was an architect.
Mm-hmm.
You had Kyle, who was a cartoonist. And
you had Hal, who was a moron.
Leave Hal alone.
So yeah, Kyle Rayner, he'll make cool, not just like flat walls to push him away. He'll make cool castle walls.
Mm-hmm.
He'll make some pirate ships so everyone can like huddle up in. He won't just make like a little bubble. He'll make like a cool bowling ball or an igloo or something. Like visual dynamism added to this team.
Do you recall that Hal Jordan meme? Now that you got me thinking about Hal, where he's in that one recent animated movie.
Get ready to keep the light show. Green Lantern's got this.
And then exactly.
And he just gets his ass handed to him by Darkseid backhands him.
The two of them just jump on him and just like start machine gun punching him while he's on the ground.
For once, the cheap animation that DC has used for a decade came in handy.
It was hilarious.
God's a visual. I love it. So yeah. The best Green Lantern, the Torchbearer.
The Torchbearer.
That's his name.
Oh,
Ion himself.
Ion, the White Lantern, everything else they wanted him to be.
Goat. Except
Green Lantern.
So that's my defensive player.
He had the crappiest Green Lantern costumes.
Go to hell and you die.
All right, so Wills.
So for stealth, again, one of those things where it's like, oh, obviously we say the Flash. But no, I don't believe in the easy answer, folks.
Not the A-listers.
I support my boy, Ryan Choi, the only good Adam.
The only, I was going to say the only live Adam, but.
No, Ray Palmer's still kicking it.
We haven't quite put our boy Adam in a matchbox yet.
Nope. Well, Ryan Choi's back. He's alive.
Oh, is he now?
Yeah, thanks to the power of Universal reboots.
Well, that's good.
And recently seen in the Snyder Cut. Pew, pew, pew.
Oh, God. Did Gail Simone put him in the box?
No.
Please tell me she didn't.
No. I don't remember who was writing Titans at the time, but it was not Simone.
Okay. I only want to say it because I know that White Dwarf showed up in Secret 6.
And got his ass handed to him by Giganta.
He really did.
So, Ryan Choi, the Atom, can shrink to itty-bitty tiny.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a sick little rocket stick that he surfs around on.
His outfit even looked better.
It did, yeah. He's just better. He had a personality. He was fun.
Ray Palmer really was just kind of a
Ray
one-note
Palmer
dude.
is, yeah, like he makes Barry Allen look like, God, he's a good complex character. Just say, he makes Barry Allen look like.
Some would call me the Martian Manhunter.
You know, he's not a complicated character, but a likable character. Ray Palmer makes Barry Allen look like Dick Grayson, like just Wonder Bread in human form. Just a complete cipher.
And it's a damn shame.
Nothing
too,
going on behind those soulless eyes.
Adam's costume had good colors. You don't waste red and blue on a C-lister.
Yeah. You know, the one time I liked Ray Palmer, there's 2 times. I like Sword of the Atom.
I like
him doing some barbarian shit.
Sword of the Atom came out when comic books were still coming out in convenience stores. So as a kid, I would go and pick up the Sword of the Atom
80s, I think, is when
at the local stop and go.
So there's that. There's a couple of solid one-shots done by Tom Payer and Steve Dillon that are fun, that are worth tracking down. But the other one I was going to say is on the Justice League cartoon where he's voiced by John C. McGinley, Dr. Cox.
Oh God.
And just a very surly take on the Atom.
I was actually just watching some episodes of Scrubs Yas last night. It was the really sad one where Ben died.
Oh, don't make me sad.
I'm trying not to make you sad, but it's like the scene where he's talking to JD and JD asks him, "Do you know where you are?"
Oh, heartbreaking. We're getting off the topic of the Atom. The point is, Ryan Choi is a fun, great legacy hero who I adore, and I've always wanted to see more of him. Give me a new solo Give me a new solo book, DC. Give me the movie that I was promised.
He's in the Snyder Cut.
Yeah, he's supposed to set him up to have his own movie.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
Bummed out about it.
Seriously.
But yeah, Ryan Choi can sneak into anywhere, and if they find some kind of lock, he's a scientific genius. He can break in. And he's got his buddies, like the disembodied head from a tiny pocket dimension.
Oh, it's true.
He's got buddies.
Is that your full team? Is that what I've got to take in?
No.
Oh, you got one more?
The Magic Member. Again, there's two very obvious choices for this one.
You're not going to take Dr. Fate.
I'm not taking Dr. Fate.
You're not going to take the Phantom Stranger.
I'm not taking the Phantom Stranger. I'm not taking Zatanna.
Okay, what do you got?
Forget him. This A-lister's not allowed.
Are you doing Constantine?
No. Get him out of here. He doesn't belong in the Justice League.
Okay. What do you got?
Traci 13.
Wow.
Yes. Daughter of Dr. 13, the occultist who doesn't believe in the occult. So Dr. 13 is an old Bronze Age character. He was an investigative guy who would go around and debunk paranormal stuff, but it always was actually paranormal even when he gave the whole explanation. But they in the modern age, they gave him a daughter, Traci, who is a witch. And he still does not believe in the paranormal.
My first exposure to Traci 13 was actually in HeroClix.
I'm not surprised.
She popped up in there. I'm like, who's this Black Alice character? Did I get the wrong dial? Why is Traci 13 on this? No clue, because it looks like Black Alice.
Yeah. So Traci 13, really, really fun character. There was an excellent Tales of the Unexpected miniseries that was Brian Azzarello and Cliff Chang, I think, did it. That's really, really fun and meta. That's about Silver Age and Bronze Age characters being wiped out by crisis events and fighting to stay relevant. But I came to know Traci 13 through her appearances in John Rogers, Lila Sturges, Rafael Albuquerque et al.'s Blue Beetle series with Jaime. She was a love interest for Jaime.
Mm-hmm.
And I really fell in love with the character, really bummed out when DC almost never did anything with her again. But then she showed up in the Phil Jimenez Superwoman series as a love interest for Natasha Irons. See how it's all coming together now?
See how you do.
I'm building team dynamics here, people. I'm not just picking the most powerful guys.
Not doing a deep scoop on the outsiders.
I'm getting everyone who I love and think would bounce off each other well. And
I have to say though
together.
that your choices are forcing me to make some real deep cuts.
I want you to get creative on this.
I've already got my magic person. I think it's just gonna blow your socks off when I pull it out too.
So Traci 13, actually on the Young Justice cartoon now. She hasn't gotten to do a whole lot because the cast of that show is so absurdly big now. That
It really is. I mean, they've got characters on there. I'm like, when did that person get into this?
I love the show still. It's still great, but come on, guys. Like, we don't need to add 20 characters a season.
You don't need to focus that much on
We
Halo.
gotta pare down a bit. But I was really happy to see her, especially hanging out with Jaime, my boy. Love him.
I didn't like the fact that Geoforce did a heel turn so quickly. I didn't like that at all.
Brion.
Yeah.
So the team is review. Black Lightning as the leader. Metamorpho as the powerhouse. Natasha Iron Steel as the tech. Despero with Elrond's mind as the mentalist. Kyle Rayner on D. Ryan Choi in stealth. And Traci 13 as the magical mistress.
This is going to be hard, and I'm really glad that I don't have to do this on camera.
Yeah,
This is going to take me a moment.
Let's take a quick break. That'll be seconds for you and mere minutes for us.
Mere minutes, my ass. Now it's time for my rebuttal. I've gone back and forth on this one, but I do believe I have a cadre of villainous ne'er-do-wells to face off against your heroes.
Lay it on me.
And first, and here's
This gaggle of goons.
this gaggle of goons, this bevy of baddies.
A cadre of clowns.
Um,
Lay it on me. Who's the leader of this outfit?
The Ultra-Humanite.
Ooh, that's fun.
Ultra-Humanite, fun fact, was the very first supervillain ever faced by Superman.
Yeah.
In fact, was his
Before he was
main
a monkey.
arch enemy before Lex Luthor even came around.
And that's actually why Lex Luthor is bald, because Ultra-Humanite was bald, and there was a miscommunication, and they assumed that was Lex Luthor, and Lex Luthor lost his red locks.
And then they got really weird, and they stuck Ultra-Humanite in a big albino gorilla.
Yeah, I love it, with red suspenders.
Which is what he is in to this day. One of my favorite appearances of Ultra-Humanite was in the Power Girl comic, where he had like a 6-issue arc against her.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, it was really interesting to kind of see where he really was mentally, you know, because...
Wants a Kryptonian body.
Yeah, I mean, but he also wants to be accepted. He wants to be loved. But he also wants to be the Ultra-Humanite.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ultra-Humanite is, he's my main baddie. He's my Lex Luthor that I did not want to have.
Very Kelsey Grammer-esque.
Yes, very much so. Now, for power, I was going to put Ultra-Humanite. But then I realized...
That powerful.
But he's a big gorilla.
Yeah.
You know, he's
a big monk.
He's a big monkey. Now, I know you like monkeys, but I was not going to undersell his intelligence factor. So he got upgraded. And that means I had to put somebody dead in there. Really dead.
Solomon Grundy?
Born on a Monday.
Nice.
Solomon Grundy is our undead. A lot of people don't know this, but I mean, Solomon Grundy was featured a lot in the Super Friends cartoon. He also showed up in Justice League quite a bit.
He also lusted in his heart for pants.
He very
That's
much
all he
did.
wanted.
But Solomon Grundy was undead. Very undead. A big, thick, muscular zombie.
With just enough tree and plant bits in his body to make Alan Scott's Green Lantern ring not work.
Oh, really? Is that what it is?
He's originally an Alan Scott villain from the Golden Age.
That explains a lot, because I know Alan Scott's ring didn't work against wood.
Yep, and since he was like marinating in the swamp for so long, he is like part plant basically.
Yeah, Solomon Grundy was actually a gangster that had been killed and thrown in the swamp.
Cyrus Gold.
And then somehow he came back from the dead, and of course the rhyme, Solomon Grundy was born on a Monday. And
my favorite explanation is that Slaughter Swamp is a Lazarus pit.
That's right. He was put in Slaughter Swamp. He was in the Super Friends Legion of Doom.
Mm-hmm. Very iconic.
Every single episode.
Yeah,
without really even mentioning the fact that, oh, by the way, he's really dead.
just a big pale Hulk.
Moving on, for tech, I don't feel like I went deep enough on this one, but I wanted somebody that was formidable. So I went with Prometheus.
Okay, elaborate. Yeah. I love that character, but I don't really see him as a tech guy.
Well, Batman was a tech guy.
Uh-huh.
And for all intents and purposes, Prometheus is Batman.
Yeah, and he's got a techie helmet. Okay.
And he did have all those weird-ass stuff.
And okay, you sold me on it.
Yeah.
He blew up Star City, so he knows a thing or two.
He blew up Star City. He disabled all the Justice League with a variety of weird stuff.
Yeah.
Involving, I think he gave Martian Manhunter a virus.
Cyrus the Virus.
Yeah, so Prometheus did his job. He didn't have to Lex Luthor it up, you know. Yeah, that's actually my Skeletor. Sorry.
He's got his sick all white hair from being scarred as a child.
Yeah, and he had the weirdest reverse Batman origin, where like his serial killer hippie parents, aka that wasn't True Romance. It was Natural Born Killers.
Mm-hmm.
It was essentially his parents, and they were killed off by the cop. And so then he was scarred for life. He had to go find this cop.
Vengeance
Against this cop, which he eventually finds and does kill.
And he had a not so subtle Batman helmet.
Yeah, he was very anti-Batman.
Of all the many, many anti-Batmans, he's up there for me.
So moving down along here, Mentalist. Everyone is going to know this one because of the recent movie, but I went with Max Lord.
Yeah. A good choice.
Max Lord did some serious damage.
And he's got some beef with my mentalist pick, Elron.
Yeah,
to
go
back.
I figured that was a good way to kind of
like that.
Join them up. But yeah, Max Lord, not only did he kill Blue Beetle, beloved Blue Beetle, in the ugliest of fashions, bullet in the dome, which you got to see. He also corrupted and framed a lot of DC heroes because getting your brain.
I'm curious how this fight plays out because on the one hand, it's Despero. On the other hand, he's already not super mentally stable given that he's got a little robot brain. So
and his Max Lord, his beloved
Lord,
pal.
Yeah, his beloved pal, and also a pretty vicious psychic guy himself. Oh, that'd be an interesting one.
It's gonna be an interesting fight.
Yeah, I'm looking through like some of the older ones. I'm imagining the fights like Black Lightning versus Ultra-Humanite. Like maybe Ultra-Humanite's got something to negate lightning. Maybe just his like gorilla density makes him a little less susceptible to electric shocks. Or Metamorpho, like he can do whatever he wants. Grundy's a zombie. He can keep throwing himself at him.
Fun thing. Villains are not really big on defense. It's very hard.
Yeah,
to find a villain defense. So I had to get creative, and I went with Dr. Polaris.
Ooh, and a Green Lantern villain to boot.
I thought that was good. I mean, you can't go wrong with magnetic powers.
Yeah.
And Dr. Polaris is really villainous.
Are we talking cool Galactus helmet?
Yes.
Or are we talking magnet helmet?
Not the magnet helmet. We're talking the Galactus helmet, the most recent one. He actually looks pretty cool these days, but he's still like, seriously, Dr. Polaris is like, you don't know what I can do. Let me just wrap this up for you.
And then he wraps you up in steel.
Exactly. Dr. Polaris is basically Magneto, with a thug mentality.
Yeah,
he can do the job.
He's a doctor. Not a very good one.
No, I think that Max Lord is going to bring in Dr. Polaris to kind of, keep the
heroes Polaris has some mental instability issues himself because I'm not sure how well it's aged. I need to revisit some of my early 2000s DC stuff, but I remember part of the attempt to like update him, they made him bipolar.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like a polarity pun, which I think is a little insensitive, but
I think in the past 20 years that's kind of faded.
Yeah,
but he's still got an edge to him.
Yeah,
because not a lot of people expect a whole lot from him.
And who can forget his certainly most memed appearance when he asked Lex Luthor if he washed his hands in Justice League.
No, 'cause I'm evil.
So yeah, Polaris and Kyle got beef. They've thrown down before.
I do remember that
pretty regularly back in Kyle's Lantern days and his JLA days. Good choice. Who you got for stealth?
For stealth, I went with. I had to. You know how much I love this book and how much I love Gail Simone. I went with Ragdoll.
Oh, that's an interesting pick.
Thank you.
I like that. That's good.
I thought you'd appreciate.
That's neat. Yeah, that's a great stealth pick.
Yeah, for people that may not know Ragdoll, watch some episodes of Flash. He's actually in there, and he's
played by a contortionist.
Yeah, played by a very good contortionist. He's not as deep as the character is in Secret Six. He's more malicious in the Flash than he is in real life. In real life, he's kind of insane. But I mean, the weight of the mask, the red ropey hair on the mask, and the way he moves, that's the way Ragdoll moves. And he's one of my favorite characters of Secret Six.
Yeah. And I'm just seeing him, Adam, zipping around him, and he's just like contorting himself, trying to reach him. Yeah.
I'm gonna encase you in me.
I'm gonna get you.
Okay, now this one's a deep cut, but you'll appreciate this. This is a Kirby creation.
Oh, there are some good Magic characters.
For Magic, I went with Klarion the Witch Boy.
Oh, I love Klarion. I just watched the Batman animated series episode with him and Etrigan.
Oh, is that the one where he's in like that the airport hangar fighting off against the police?
No, it's the one where
or is that a Young Justice episode?
I don't remember that scene. That might have been Young Justice, but in that episode he gets this little branding iron that belonged to Morgan Le Fay, and he hits Etrigan in the head with it and lets him control Etrigan. And Jason Blood and Etrigan are voiced by Billy Zane.
Yes. Well, this is the
cool
one
dude.
I think I remember. There's a scene where Klarion the Witch Boy and he's got his cat, Teakle, and he's talking to him back and forth, and they're dealing with all these cops have cornered him.
I think it is that Batman animated series episode.
Yeah, and they've cornered him in this air hangar, and he basically deals with them in a variety of sorceries.
I think it's a train station because there's a scene where a train passes over him, and he goes, too noisy, and he has Etrigan go and smash the train.
Yeah. Yeah, so I thought that Klarion the Witch Boy is just crazy enough to not be reliable in a fight. When I say not reliable, it's like when you're fighting off against somebody who's actually using their brain, you think, okay, well, he's going to react to this. I'm going to react to this.
He's unpredictable.
But this is the button masher in the arcade that's going to beat you anyway. Yeah.
Tico, go. My favorite Klarion stuff is in the '90s Young Justice book Peter David and Todd Nowak worked on.
Mm-hmm.
How Klarion would always, when he would say his name, he'd say Klarion, the Witch Boy, and then in parentheses would be dun dun dun.
I came across Klarion the Witch Boy in some old New Gods issues way back in the day during my time of grabbing 70s comics. And I was like, what the hell? What's up with this kid's hair?
Yeah,
I have no context on what he was. I just knew that he did magic and he looked like a kid and he was angry all the time.
Yeah, he's also on the Young Justice cartoon where he's very fun.
Yeah.
Has the most obnoxious voice on the planet. Like,
who does his voice?
Oh, I don't remember. He's the guy who voiced Tinkerer on Spectacular Spider-Man, and he has a very, very distinct voice that drives me crazy.
Voice, that nasally voice.
Hold on, we're gonna fill out some dead air here really quick while I Google it.
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice,
Tom Adkins Hernandez.
No clue.
Yeah, but he has a very distinct, very obnoxious voice, and I love it.
I that reminds me of the guy you went to when you needed a high-pitched, obnoxious voice in the 80s. And that was Chris Atta.
I thought you were going to say Gilbert Gottfried.
No. Gilbert Gottfried, that's a manufactured voice. You actually ever heard Gilbert Gottfried's real voice?
It's very stunning.
It's totally normal. He just does that. But Chris Atta is the guy that did the voice for Cobra Commander and Starscream.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. I loved him. He unfortunately passed, so I guess I couldn't get him for the Transformers movies, Bay Factors.
The guy they got, Charlie Adler's really good though.
Mm-hmm.
Is that his name? I think so. But yeah, anyways, so it looks like our DC matchup is my Justice League, comprised of Black Lightning, Metamorpho, Steel, Despero, Kyle Rayner, Ryan Choi, and Traci 13
versus my Legion of Doom, led by the Ultra-Humanite, with Solomon Grundy, Prometheus, Dr. Polaris, Ragdoll, and Klarion the Witch Boy.
Bound to be one for the ages, folks.
Yes, indeed.
Let us know what you think.
Do we do good? Do we do bad? What are your choices for this?
Yeah, give us your own all-wizard team.
Man,
I'd
do
really
the whole
love to see 'em.
whole freaking list.
And we're definitely going to do more of these because they're a hoot. I love doing them.
I love these.
It's a pain in the ass to make these little Marvel like power stat cards, but they're a hoot, and I like how.
And I'm glad that you get to do it, not me.
I'm the only one willing to do the homework here.
Yes,
so.
Unfortunately you are. When it comes to power stat cards, that's all you.
So yeah, give us a like, give us a subscribe, check out our socials, maybe give us some money, and tune in next time for Hazardous Materials.